So hey folks, I'm gonna try and show you this. I didn't actually get any video footage when I was doing this project. I've had this vehicle here for about 10 years. And I've done a lot to it over the years. One of the most recent projects that we did with it was we did a dually conversion on it, and I also built a flatbed on it. So I'm going to kind of do a little quick walk around, and when I make this video, I didn't, like I said, didn't have a lot of video footage of it, so I do have a lot of pictures, right, of the process. So I'm gonna kind of mix those pictures in with this video, and hopefully it's kind of interesting for you guys. If not, I apologize. So give me 1 second. Okay, so here's my truck that I've had for about 10 years now. Going over and doing this video to show you what the dually conversion ended up looking like. So there's the front wheels. We used F250 dually spacers, and then F250 dually rims, and I bought these fancy little spike lug nut covers off of a website called Rainey's Truck Parts. I did all these lights like the first 2 months I had the truck. So these lights are new. Okay, so these lights were part of the whole winter project when I did the dually conversion and the flatbed and all that stuff on it. I built these brackets myself instead of buying them. So I built those, and they're mounted inside, obviously. And then we wired those. Come on. There we go. All the lights on the moon visor were all done at the same time as lights on the steps. Sorry, new gimbal. A friend of mine that was diagnosed with cancer named my truck, so we saw it fitting to put the sticker on. There's another light that we did. If you look, all these lights here, that's the other one light from the winter project with the bracket. There's the driver's side rim. There's the lights down the steps. Again, I know there's a little bit of cancer on it, but I live very far north in snow belt, and road salt will kill these things. Last couple of years I actually don't even drive this truck in the winter. It gets stored. So there's that. Yeah, I know there's a little bit of mud on it. When I pulled the truck out in the spring, my ground is very soft. So this truck is a 99 Ford F250 with the 7.3 Power Stroke in it. It's got some aftermarket goodies on it already. This top monitor is for when I have my camper hooked up. This is my radio. Yeah, I mean, for being a 26-year-old, truck, it's not in terrible shape. So if you look at these switches here, all these switches control my lights. I know there's a piece of duct tape on there. This switch right here turns on my air compressor, and that's for my air horns. So, oops, sorry. I did a triple gauge pod on it. It's got trans temp, exhaust temp, and boost pressure. so I can monitor it as I'm driving down the road pulling my camper. So that is the front seat. We put the big tow mirrors on, so we didn't have to do them stupid strap-on tow mirror things. Okay. Come on. Trying to do this one-handed. So you're going to see in here, this hose is for my boost pressure. It tells me how much boost pressure I'm making. Yeah, so kind of looks like a stock 7.3, I guess you would say. One thing that isn't stock, if I can get in there and show you. Okay, I went from a 63 millimeter stock Garrett turbo to an 88 millimeter ball bearing turbo. So it does make a difference. Let's see if I can get down in there and show you. Yeah, maybe. Whoops. I did bellowed up pipes. Okay. And let's see if I can show you in here. Maybe you can see them a little bit. I know I can show you better on the other side. But if you can see it, I did a stainless header instead of the stock cast manifold. Going down here, I did the dual steering stabilizer conversion on it. That makes a big difference. Trust me, when you're pulling a camper down the road, that makes a giant difference. So this side you can see it a little better. See that? And then that goes to the bellowed up pipes, which go up to the turbo right there. And this has a aftermarket Banks 3-inch exhaust on it. I'm not really going to crawl underneath the truck to show you right now, but I also have a Banks Trans Commander in there as well. So this is getting into the flatbed that we put on it right now. Now mind you, it may look a little rough, but you got to understand, I built this entire thing out of scrap metal. Okay, and I think I did a pretty good job for building it out of scrap metal. I mean, yeah, this box here hides the air compressor for my air horns. That is a, let's see if I can show you better here. That is a 30-gallon reefer tank off of a reefer semi-trailer. There's my home-built headache rack. I will be redoing it. I'm getting ready to go to the Iowa car show, and I didn't want to be getting into a big project right away. So, there's the lights on the front. There's the lights on the back. I use these ones on the back for when I'm hooking up to my camper in the dark. Now I'm going to show you a fancy little hidden gem. There is my air horns. 4 trumpets. That's pretty cool, and they are loud. Trust me, they are loud. Mud flaps on the front, more chicken lights. There's the dually fenders that I built to go over the dualies on the back. There's more spiked lug nut covers on the back. If you don't want to go to a dually rear axle, you can do this conversion with a standard rear axle and use spacers. That's what I did, because the cheapest dually rear axle that I could find with the same gear ratio as the front was like $1,300. So there's the mud flaps on the rear, the exhaust. Those are the brackets for my fifth wheel hitch right there. There's the other one right there. I know it doesn't look like it's attached, but it is, I promise. Airlines. Let's see if I can show you in here. I did do helper bags on it, and those make a world of difference. We have 1.25 ton leaf springs underneath here, versus the standard 3/4 ton leaf springs. There's more chicken lights for you. Again, like I said, this entire bed is built out of scrap, so if it looks a little rough, I'm sorry. This is another little conversion that I did. We lowered the fifth wheel hitch and installed a gooseneck, but we lowered the fifth wheel hitch 5.5 inches. So now when I hook my camper up, it rides dead level going down the road, and I love it. It pulls so much better that way. When I take my fifth wheel hitch out, right, I can close those doors and I have a full bed, right? There's the gooseneck underneath it, right? Okay, there's that 30-gallon reefer tank that I was talking about. I got that from my old boss. There's that. There's that headache rack again. Yes, I have those. My wife made me those stickers. There's more chicken lights. There's my fuel filler. I'm going to show you a fancy little thing here. So in order to get fuel from that tank to that tank, I did a little bit of a modification here, right? So that hose right there comes down from the reefer tank. It goes to that valve. See if I can show you a little better. See that? And then it goes out, and it goes around, and it tees in right there in the vent line. And it works phenomenal. I open up that ball valve right there, and it drains the fuel out of that tank right into this tank, and I don't have to do nothing. So there. So I'm going to show you in here. There's that T that I was talking about a little better. Can you see that? Yep, pretty good. There's that 5.5 inch drop. There's the brackets for the fifth wheel. There's the other airbag for this side. Leaf spring. There's a dually conversion on this side. More spiked lug nut covers. Yes, my kids mowed the grass the other day and they decided to blow grass all over in my rims. Yeah. More mud flaps. Stuff like that. Now we're going to get around to the back. More lights. Beautiful lights. These lights here I also use for when I'm hooking up to my camper in the dark. This thing is set up. This air chuck right here comes from the air compressor, and I can use that to inflate my airbags, which are right here. Driver, passenger. 7-pin connector. My receiver hitch for when I'm pulling a regular trailer. And then I'm going to show you this little fancy deal. I piggybacked my 7-pin connector right here. So when I'm hauling my big camper, which you can see a little bit of it in the background, I plug that in right here and I never have to worry about that cord dragging on the ground. Okay. I bought that fifth wheel hitch off of Facebook Marketplace for 75 bucks. I just been having all kinds of fun with this truck, doing all kinds of different things to it. It's got all brand new injectors in it. It's got brand new glow plugs in it. It's got a lot of work done to the engine. A lot of work done to the engine. We just had the transmission out over the winter too. We did a rear main seal on the motor because the rear main seal was bad. But I suppose, you know, you can't really complain for 300,000+ miles on this truck and having to do a rear main. So I did a full transmission service at the same time on it. And I work on all of my stuff. I work on all my stuff. I don't pay anybody else to work on my stuff for me. I have a lot of people that bring their stuff to me, and I work on their stuff as well, and I don't charge an arm and a leg like a lot of these other shops do. So there's a little better shot of the big fifth wheel camper that we pull. It's a beast. It's not as big as the one we really want, but it's what we got for right now. So I got these taillights on Amazon. The outers I got in a pack of 4 when I did this flatbed conversion. The inners I had around. That's why they're different colors. I apologize. I will get around to changing them one of these days. But yeah, I did all the wiring. I did all the lights. I did all the fabrication on the bed. I did all the fabrication on the headache rack. I did it all here at my house in my tiny little shop. Which, if you guys want a tour of the shop someday, just leave it in the comments and I will go in there and I will do a tour of the shop for you. I will show you my tiny little humble abode that I got, that I work in. Like I said, this is an F250 with F350 dually conversion on it. And then we did a 1.25 ton rear leaf springs in it. The other thing I'm going to mention too is, I don't know if anybody out there has the same style truck as this, but you might know of the dreaded problem with the brakes, right? The brakes locking up on these trucks. Hold on one second. So you may know about the dreaded problem with the brakes locking up on these trucks. And everybody blames it on the calipers. Well, it's the calipers. They're not designed right. They're not designed right. They're not designed right. Well, I believed the same thing, right? And I changed all the calipers. Put all brand new calipers on. 6 months, put all brand new calipers on again. Another 6 months, brand new calipers again, right? And I just got sick and tired of it. So I started asking a couple of my buddies and doing a little bit of research on my own. And ended up finding out that the problem with this is not the calipers. It's not the design of the calipers. It's not any of that. It's actually, let me flip. It's actually the master cylinder itself. The master cylinder will actually tear an O-ring on the front and fluid will leak by. So, if any of you are having the same issue with the brakes locking up and can't seem to figure it out, my suggestion to you is change your master cylinder. Go buy a brand new one. Go to any parts store that offers a lifetime warranty on it. Buy that part, bench bleed it, install it the right way, and it should, in theory, solve all of your problems. So, like I said, I didn't have any pictures of actually doing the whole dually conversion or video clips of doing the whole dually conversion. But I did take a lot of pictures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and kind of create a video of what I'm doing right now here, taking the video of this truck. And I'm going to tie in all the pictures that I have and hopefully be able to make somewhat of an interesting video for you guys. Yeah, go from there. This truck We have had it. Geez, God, where have we gone with this thing? We've gone down to the Dells with it. We've gone to Door County multiple times with it. We have gone to Upper Michigan with it multiple times, camping, pulling the camper. We have gone, oh geez, a lot of places, almost out to Minnesota with it. And last year we went to the Iowa Car Show, which we're going again this year, and that's in like a week here. So we will be out at the Iowa Car Show again this year. I know it probably doesn't mean much. I don't have a lot of followers. I'm just trying to do what I can to improve my page and show you some cool stuff that I do on my own. I do work a full-time job, 55 to 60 hours a week. I come home from work and I tend to work on this truck or my car or the wife's car or a couple other projects I have around here. One of those projects that we did was, I'm not getting into the whole shop tour, but one of those projects we did, and it will be with us out in Iola, is, you can probably see the back of it right now. We're walking up to it. We did this. This is a club car, golf cart, that we did a 6-inch lift and 12-inch tires. Rims, sorry, 12-inch rims with the big wide meaty tires on it. See that? Big wide meaty tires. Did the rear seat addition on there, the tail lights on it, and all kinds of other stuff to it. But this will be with us out in Iola, and I will be happy to do a video on the golf cart as well. If you want, I can go through and I can show you everything on there. I don't have any video footage from, pardon the sunlight here, folks, sorry. I don't have any video footage of when we did all the stuff to it, but I can walk around with the camera and kind of show you everything that we did and point out all the stuff that we did, and yeah, you know, hopefully you think it's cool. Maybe it will be, maybe it won't be, I don't know. But yeah, so if you want to see more interesting content like that, please, you know, check out my page. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. I'm not going to ask you to do any of that. You do that on your own free will if you want. But yeah, hopefully I can put out some more cool videos. So have yourselves a good day, and yeah, hopefully this video is interesting to you.